Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Johnny Stanton. We have Reginald Perryman, Shaka Williams. We are TSARE, and this is a There's Something About Real Estate podcast where we talk all things real estate. And I feel weird and awkward because I'm on the wrong side of the room.
You're on the right side.
We have with us tonight special guests, Rashad and Erica Kemp, fix and flippers of Detroit.
Yes.
Metro,
yes.
Bagley.
Yes. Yes.
One fix and flip of Detroit Bank.
So how are you all? How was the day? Everything's good?
Yeah, everything's wonderful. You know, we closed on the house and Today, yes, today. At what time was it that they closed?
Noon.
At noon. So.
All right, we got y'all fresh off the check.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a message on the way over here like the wire has been processed. But before we jump all the way into that, Rashad, let's hear. We already in an interview, Erica. Let's hear a little bit about you and who you are and where you come from and all that.
Well, I am a father of 4, 2 sons and 2 daughters. I work full-time at a manufacturing company where it's called Moeller Manufacturing, and we manufacture aircraft and aerospace components. I've been there for about 14 years, actually. And, you know, it has been a while. Well, it's been a little dream of mine to get into real estate and do fixing and flipping. So when I met my wife, that was something that I spoke about, and we put this thing in motion. See what traction we can get, see how much money we can make, see how much earnings we can make, and you know, it has been a roller coaster, but we still here, we still trucking.
All right.
Okay.
Let me ask you something. So you have the 9 to 5,
Yes.
and she's the loan rep.
Mm-hmm.
Do sometimes you think she's crazy when she's dealing with her clients?
Oh, absolutely. I hear her going through all types of emotions. My wife is a very emotional person, so I see it all. I see the ups, the downs, and sometimes I get the brunt of it. But
My God.
I'm the calm to the storm. So I try my best to calm her and go about our days so we can make it to another day.
Okay.
How long have you been married?
About a year and a half.
Wait a minute.
About a year
Hold
and a
on.
half.
You never asked a man
He-
that.
Erica
That's the same way
crazy?
as asking the woman about her age.
I was gonna say
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you would have said the wrong thing?
All right.
Right, that's
Okay.
true.
How long y'all been married? My bad.
just say the day, babe. Just
You
so
know the
no
date?
pressure, no pressure.
The date?
Don't say the date.
No, Erica.
November 27th. That's
okay.
easy. That's
right.
easy.
That's
You
cool.
know,
All right.
that's like clockwork. So.
What year?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
the date.
all right, I gotta jump in and say. So the reason he remember how long he was on his job, because the job brings a little bit of, frustration sometimes. With marriage, it's so nice, and you just be like, you forget how long it's been.
Years,
okay.
Yeah.
And you just be like, I'm just in love. The years just go by.
Right.
But
For some.
right.
For
That's what
some.
we gonna say.
Yeah, that's what we saying.
Did we
Okay.
get outnumbered? Okay. So, anywho's. So you said you've always wanted to, do investing. So you really, because I'm wondering, how did you get comfortable, or tell us, what happened here? How did y'all jump into it?
Well, I had some capital. I had some money saved, and we were looking. I wouldn't say aggressively looking, but we were looking, and an opportunity came about. We were interested in buying in the Bagley district. We had a neighbor, actually, which he stayed right next door. Erica kept an eye on his property throughout the years, and but he didn't live there. He would check in sporadically, and I started asking Erica. Ask him if he gonna sell it. I had no idea he was really interested in selling his property, but she kept cracking on him, and one day he was like, make me an offer. We was like, oh, really? Make you an offer? Okay, well, let's he throw a number out there. You never know what I might take for it. And
That was funny.
yeah.
Y'all don't want to know the offer I threw out there.
No, but I want to know, who did y'all consult before y'all made the offer?
We didn't We didn't consult anybody.
No,
did we?
not really. No, not really.
I have a cousin who has his own brokerage, and he's been doing real estate for quite some time. He does rehabs and things like that. So, any questions I have with real estate, that's who I consult. You know what I mean? But did I consult him? I think I did. And he told me that comps in the area were pretty good at that time. So yeah, I did. I did. I consulted him, along with knowing that the area was pretty nice. You know what I mean? Right. I knew that we were in that window where people were overbidding on houses. So if we can hurry up and get this thing done, see, I'm a person. I like to be, and my wife knows this too. I like to be hands-on. I like to be in there seeing what's going on. The contractors have called me micromanager. I'm a micromanager, but, I have all my money in there. So
especially when you're next door. Shit.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right?
I'm looking out, and I'm seeing people not there, and, for days at a time. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You said that this will be done by this date. I need to see some results. I got a lot of money out here. I'm trying to catch this window of opportunity. You know what I mean? So,
did your advisor give you a number on what to expect after the house was repaired?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did.
So you got.
I guess my thing was I didn't really know. And this is where we were at with the first contractor. I didn't really know where our numbers were. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was mind-boggling to me. And I kept asking and asking and asking and asking. I asked her almost every single day, where are the numbers for me to understand and know what I got to come out of to get this project done? Right. Initially, we were going to do Airbnb. That was something that I considered. Okay. I heard great things about it, and
right next door, you can't. That ain't that bad.
Yeah.
You don't let them know you the host.
Right. Exactly. Right. You don't let them know you're the host. But so we were gonna go Airbnb, and then we started talking about how we wanted to go about it, what we wanted to do to the house to make it appealing and tantalizing to potential clients or people that wanted to stay there. And after going back and forth, and we talked to a couple of people that had Airbnbs, we just flipped it and said, okay, I'm thinking with the amount of money that's going to take to do it, forget it. Let's just flip it. So that's why I flipped it and said, let's go with, rehabbing the house and going that way.
Yeah, so y'all kind of went in there a little. Actually, I think that's what a lot of new investors do, and that's kind of the mistake they make, right? They don't go in there with a real game plan, right?
I agree.
You need to know all your numbers when you go in the house. You need to know your ARV first, and then you need to back everything out from there so that you have an idea. You have a contingency for any errors or mistakes or anything that can go wrong, right? So that's the first thing that I hear. But that's good though. So even though y'all did that, I still think that it's a great thing that they did it.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like everybody gets scared thinking that they're gonna make a mistake, so they don't do nothing. They stand pat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like the fact that y'all did it together because there's so many investors. They're investing and they're going through this experience alone without their spouse. And their spouse is like, you crazy as hell.
And cussing them out.
And it caused tension at home. Yeah. So y'all did it together, plus the house was next door. So it's like y'all actually got to grow through that.
Absolutely.
Together.
We did. We went through some tumultuous times. I won't speak on that too much.
Right.
But it's,
that's how you learn, though.
Yeah.
I almost filed my first flips. I almost filed bankruptcy.
Wow.
Really?
Like for real?
Oh, yeah.
It was the worst. It was the worst house I ever bought in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they taught me so much. You know
That's
what I mean?
key.
I learned so much in that space. Actually, that's what was my foundation. You know, after that shit, I knew exactly what to do.
Right.
And that's why I knew I could come back. You know.
Y'all know people pay like $40,000 for courses sometimes to learn how to flip.
40,000?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Wow.
That's why we tell some people like, you might, it is useful, but you can learn a lot more for less than 40,000.
Yeah.
It may hurt worse, but you can learn a lot more
Yeah.
for less than
Which I did, right?
40,000.
Yeah. I learned a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
we've learned a lot, man. I know I have.
Tell us a little bit about the advice from like peers and things that came at you. So we talked about during the acquisition, you got a little bit of consultation, maybe not a whole lot. And then like once you're in it and you're dealing with, your contractor and you're looking for numbers and things like that and you're not getting, the information that you wanted, like how did you proceed like after that?
Yeah, so the issue is trying to get someone to actually come to the house and actually show up. That's the first thing, right? And then to actually write the numbers down and tell us what the cost was going to be to rehab the house. We never actually got numbers on what it costs to rehab the house. So, people will walk in the house.
Not concrete numbers.
Not
let's put it
concrete
like
numbers,
that.
yeah. So
it'll be around this or that, and then,
Yeah. So me being mortgages, right, I like numbers. I'm a numbers girl.
That's what she said.
I want to know what the numbers are to rehab the house. And nobody will give us numbers. Yeah, they'll walk in, oh, this is nice. All you need is paint and redo the floors and you can gut this kitchen. We know we need to do that. But what is it going to cost to do this? My other issue was this. You giving us numbers, which we never got. But then at the end, when it comes to buttoning up, is it going to be another 20,000? Did you forget about the porch? Did you forget about the roof? What about these trees? What about the curb appeal? What about this fence? Right? Nobody said nothing about the fence or the deck or anything. Right? So, trying to get numbers for me being in the business was super disappointing because for me to be in the business and I cannot get my network to help me with numbers is disappointing. Even to this day is disappointing, right? So we had, my friend come over. I had a couple friends, right, come over. And they kind of walked through the house, but it wasn't as detailed as I would like it. Now, I've had my kitchen done, and it was one price. And then we started finishing it. Another $3,000, $4,000 got thrown in there. So I was trying to get somebody that was going to really walk up to the house and say, okay, we're going to need to do this. We're going to tear this tree down. We're going to do this. This porch, this tuck pointing. These bricks are loose.
It's almost like, I'm going to be honest, it's almost like a woman needs to get in there and really get down to the nitty gritty in terms of finishing. Yeah.
You need a professional, not a woman.
I agree.
That's what you needed.
But
so what y'all did is, because I came over there. I don't remember what month I did. I came over there when Erica came to the office. And when I came over there, I didn't give y'all, y'all already had a contractor and y'all was well on y'all way. But when I came over there, to me, I was like, what the hell? Why are you doing all this? Right?
Really? I remember she told me.
I'm like, why you doing too much?
Really?
I think the biggest mistake that everybody makes, newbies, and not just newbies, because shit, I can name some people that flip for real, but they don't make the profit on their flip because they worried about trying to be on TV. Right? I told you that, right?
Yeah.
They emotional about their flips. You know what I'm saying? They trying, y'all flip was amazing. The flip looked great as hell for Airbnb, right? But if I'm gonna flip it, right? No, I'm saying because
I feel you though.
It was
I
nice
respect
as hell,
that.
right?
But these are the things that we need to know.
But for a
moving
flip,
forward.
I was telling Erica, I'm like, shit, I wouldn't do, man, what? That was a cosmetic flip that went into something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like y'all learned a lot from it. So
yeah, we did.
So you didn't lose. You know what I mean? You gained. For me,
knowledge.
the knowledge
Power.
is
knowledge is everything.
I can't even put a price on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because now I know I can always go and make money with my knowledge, right? And the knowledge that I think that y'all learned, that I think a lot of new flippers need to learn is, bruh, this is not TV. Right.
Well, Erica said it. She was like, well, I wanted to know how the hell I'm going to sell the house if Shaka coming over here saying that we should not put that in there like that. That's what I want to know.
So Shaka, let's go over. Let's assess what you saw at that point when you came over. What we shouldn't have done at that point.
And so I don't remember it in its entirety. This was like in the goddamn summertime, right? And I look at a million houses, right? So I don't remember everything, but I do remember that it was literally cosmetic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was over there when y'all porch was getting done. Remember the dude was doing the porch?
Yeah.
And the porch was getting done. My man was still demoing the kitchen and the bathroom. And shit, I'm in there like, shit, the house was solid as hell. This was a nice house already.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to do nothing. They didn't have to open no walls. They had the old school nice trim, you know, expensive shit. You know,
and they took that out?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's still
All
there.
right.
No, they shit was nice. This was we didn't shit. I was jealous because we don't run into flips like that. We always got to do a lot of work on our flips, and I'm like, this is a really good, quick, cosmetic flip.
Yeah, so basically I think and I guess you correct me if I'm wrong, it's just one of those things where you go into a house and then you kind of stand back and you're like, yeah, I got to resurface the floors, I got to paint, I got to put new cabinets in here, but I may not get the custom cabinets. I may not necessarily hire a designer. So, like, I know, we go and have our drawings and stuff done, but we don't go and get, like, the top of the line or necessarily, like, I
don't get no drawings done, so I do my own drawings. But I might get after I figure out what we're doing in the kitchen,
right?
We have that up there so when they install the cabinets, they know the design. Right. But
so one thing too. So what Shaka's basically saying is sometimes you can over improve a property for the area. So you only need that property to match the quality of what the surrounding area has.
And that's what we were shooting for.
I feel like we did that.
You did.
I feel like we did it.
You can also over improve the property itself. When he's saying it's a cosmetic flip, there's just certain things you don't have to do whatsoever. So it sounds like you're saying they probably did more than necessary.
100%. They spent more money on the rehab than they had to spend. Now, that doesn't mean you was going to sell it at the higher dollar amount, but you was going to net more money.
I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because some kitchens and bathrooms can get,
I'm a little lost, though. I got to kind of like go into that. So specifically, right? Because I feel like I know where we messed up.
Right.
But what did we do? So we had to skim the walls. It was peeling paint everywhere. I don't know if it's called mud, skim, whatever they do. The walls were absolutely terrible. The porch, that was a big ticket item, right? There was dead trees. So we had to dig that up. That cost, right? We're talking about some of the main things.
Right.
There was a deck there that had to be demoed.
Yeah,
there was some other things that wasn't touched, right? I mean, that was touched, but some of the people didn't pick up that came through the house. So there was water coming in, right?
Water intrusion.
There was water intrusion. So the cement or the blocks needed to be
tuck pointed.
I don't know how inside. What did they gotta do? They came in and did something, so they fixed that wall. And then there was other water entry. So then the guys it was like cement. So they came in. They had to tear down
the panels. We had 90 panels down.
They took the panel down.
Tear that down
and fixed
to look and see where the leak
water
was coming from, where the water intrusion was coming from.
So you got extra. That's kind of stuff coming in, right? So whatever it costs for them to mud and skim the house, right, to tear out. The kitchen wasn't just fabulous. You know what I'm saying? But
you mean after y'all did it?
No, I'm just saying we didn't do anything that was just major. It's just these big ticket items, which was costing us money, like that porch.
In time.
So y'all had a lot of hidden defects, basically.
Put the rails back on it. These little details is what started taking away from the money.
Yeah. Right.
And it was like
maybe from not having it in your original consultation, then having to have somebody come back and finish it.
I know.
Well, it sounded like the biggest issue was starting off with the contractor, like you said, not giving you the numbers. Usually when you hire a contractor, first of all, you telling them what you want done, right? And then they may point out, okay, well, this has to be done because this is code or whatever. Then you come up with a scope of work and they have their bid. So it's an itemized bid, right? This is what it's going to cost for the porch. This is what it's going to cost for the roof. Now you can see how your numbers work, and maybe the numbers don't fit, so maybe you downgrade on the quality of cabinets, or maybe you leave something out. Maybe you don't bust up the bathroom. Maybe you just reglaze everything and put in new toilets. But if you never had your numbers from the contractor,
We never had
y'all
our
was
numbers.
just working
That was the
blind.
first
That was
thing.
the
That probably was the biggest
she gave
thing.
us
that's
like
the biggest.
She gave us a
Crazy
range.
numbers.
Can't work. That don't work.
I told her what I wanted to work with. You know what I mean? And
Did she say, yeah, that's going to work?
No, that's
We
no.
need it
she
done
was
for
like,
that.
yeah, I could do it for that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's-
I could do it for
No,
that. And
that's-
then it ended up being
That's
you know what I
red
mean?
flag number
So
one.
look, we are already into like
Yeah.
demo, right? So our demo is done, right? And the porch is done, and it's like September, October, and I'm looking at the amount of money we already spent. I'm saying there is no way possible that we're going another $30,000 and you're done, and you still haven't inputted the kit. You haven't put the kitchen in, the bathroom.
crazy.
We still got to stand these floors, these
It was
porch, these
crazy.
rails. Because in my
She
head,
just roughed out everything basically. Everything was roughed out.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's where they get you at. So demo is the most dangerous part in any flip. Because once a contractor demos everything, it's no turning back from there.
But they didn't do no major demo.
They didn't.
They
They
tore
didn't do no
they
major
tore
demo.
out that whole kitchen and that
Right.
whole
That ain't nothing.
bathroom.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
nothing.
So-
So they didn't. That's cosmetic demo, right? That's
Yeah,
that's
because like
cosmetic.
everything for the most part was intact. Like that was one of the nice features about the house is that they kept a lot of the character, but they kind
They
of
kept
refurbished it.
everything.
And like
Yeah,
Erica said,
everything.
she let somebody come in there and tell her to skim the wash. I could have been like, we ain't skimming.
Right. That's why I was like,
I mean,
Oh, really?
yeah, that's why I'm like,
Bruh, so
Yeah,
you're
she's
upgrading to the
everywhere,
if you
man.
y'all need to pay attention to our deal or no deal. So I tell
Yeah.
people all the time on the deal or no deal. So Reggie asked me, well, what do you think the rehab cost is?
Right.
And the first thing I say is, well, let's go look at the comps,
yeah.
right? Because I don't know what the rehab cost is going to be because I got to go see what we rehabbing to.
Right.
Like, you know, what's the neighborhood like? And in that area there, so I'm not from Detroit, but in that area there, that shit is all old plaster. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
It is.
So,
It's plaster.
so they're not
Yeah.
So
expecting.
Erica confused. So like
Reload.
for instance, if we evaluate a property and none of the houses where we trying to match the comps don't have new windows, we're not gonna put in. We'll fix broken windows, but we're not gonna go and put in all new windows because it may not be necessary to yield that return.
I think y'all have an
Makes
advantage
sense.
though.
So
We
for
do,
Yeah.
but you have the same advantage because you can call us whenever you need to.
Now,
And you know
now,
what
No, you
Yes.
could have been dead.
Yeah, you could
As far
have
as I
been
see.
called.
like,
As far as I see, these individuals right here were always there.
Okay,
One-
so
Erica's
But
spoiled.
it's,
So,
not, but it's
okay.
not a problem. No,
So
no,
bad.
you
You
did
love
what
her.
you were supposed to do. It's not. So this is
there,
not.
there's
this
some
is not-
there's some areas that causes some issues, right? So
Right.
sometimes my husband's family member is an agent,
All
right?
right. Yeah.
Right. So and he also flips. So this is where you're talking about husband and wife, and it start getting a little messy, murky. This is my girl's name, she called right. So I want my cousin to do the work, right? And it's like, well, no. Because I don't want to fall out with family
Right.
trying to do this, right?
That's what it
So
was.
I started looking for a neutral, right, that could handle
Got it.
me and him without it getting too ugly, and it still got ugly,
Right.
right?
Right.
So the issue is this. This is what I found out. This is what I learned from this. I'll let y'all say. If we had a GC that did some of the work and it had the subcontractors working for them, right, we wouldn't have spent so much money. This person she pieced the work out to so many different people, and not that it wasn't decent prices, but it was like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. My cabinet guy charges $100 per cabinet, right? Oh, and if you want this put on this, but he don't do the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, or we got somebody to do.
He don't do the crown mold.
He don't do
or the
this.
mold.
So now
It
you
was
got to
just-
call all these people in to do
It was
this.
great, yeah.
You
Yeah.
piece nickel and diming
Right.
it. And that's just my opinion.
Y'all didn't have a real GC.
We didn't.
Y'all didn't
So
have a real
when the real
contractor.
GC came in, and I see him in there, he cutting, he hanging the cabinet,
He hanging
Right.
doors.
he hanging doors.
Well, he ain't
That's
a
not
GC.
necessarily a GC.
I'm just
Yeah,
giving this.
yeah,
I'm just saying the
working
guy.
foreman.
But I'm saying he
working
knows how
foreman.
to do these things, right, to save a little bit of money. I see him hooking up the plumbing, even though the roof is done. Once it's in, I see him doing this and doing that. We like, well, wait a minute, right? So has she had a crew Even as a project manager, had she had a crew explaining to us, okay, this is what you do, or I'm gonna have this person do this, or they gonna do this, and it wasn't nickel and diming. The nickel and diming is what killed us.
But your so if you had a real GC, that GC wouldn't have been necessarily explaining who everybody is. They would have just
what
had,
they're paying them.
Or
we don't talk about none of that.
No, we was paying all these invoices.
So she was taking their money. She was having them pay all the invoices and shit. No, that's BS. That person, I told you that then. I don't know that individual.
It's all right. I mean, I'm gonna just say this. It's all good when you doing this a $300,000 house we trying to do. You can't nickel and dime. Okay, we charge $100 a door. You got 15 doors. No.
Right.
No, we not doing this.
It's not really even information you should have.
Yeah, so it just got real crazy and pricey. My husband, like he said, we live next door. Right. So we looking out the window, oh, they gonna be there at 6 a.m. GC is general contractor, Cassidy. So we looking at, they supposed to be there at 6. My husband got to be to work. He texting me, you see anybody there? The lights on? I'm like, no, ain't nobody there. It's 9 o'clock.
Are they there yet?
I take
anybody over there now?
Yeah, I take Lisa to school, come back. He like, they there? No. And then we calling her like, where your people at? Right. Well, they general, they subcontractors, they can work on their own schedule.
So that's the main issue with people that GC, and I think that's the main issue with people that GC, like you said, that don't have a crew. So I don't sub a lot of projects. I sub certain things. Yeah. Everybody else work for me. And what that allows me to do is make sure that they're where they're supposed to be at when I want them to be there. One thing I would never tell y'all would never come to me and I tell y'all somebody gonna be there at 6 a.m. because it's unrealistic, right? You're dealing with contractors, and they suck. You know what I mean? Like they are who they are. You know what I mean? They have their specialty as far as they smart in their own way. They're different than us, right? Right. They're creative, right? I'm not. So the GC should have never said that. They should have gave y'all a completion date.
Yep.
Absolutely.
A scope of work and a price.
Moving date.
No scope of work. Never got a scope.
Moving target.
Yeah.
Moving target, moving budget. She's talking about it was an open budget or something.
And you always go.
I unfold or I unroll as we move, and we sitting here saying, I had what I was going to, the max we was going to spend on that house. We went well over budget.
Like 20,000?
Yeah, more than that. What? So now you talking about you dipping into my money, my savings. You know what I'm saying? And it was a nightmare. It was a complete nightmare. It put so much stress.
But y'all learned so much.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I'm happy. But it put so much stress on our new marriage. Pressure undue. Because it was unnecessary, right? Stress. And my husband being so meticulous and micromanaging. See, he go to work every day. He like, this is, I go to work, I get off work, this is it, right? Me, I'm like this. I work those hours too.
You see these army pants I got on?
Yeah. For real.
I'm super structured too, but I'm in the mortgage business and I understand things can change. Right. You can think it's going to go this way, then it's going to go to the left.
Right.
So then my husband started learning stuff, right? like I'm not paying what the dude say he's going to charge us to do the court. So the guys did the floors, but he don't do, what is it called, quarter round? Is that what's called?
Yeah, quarter round.
How much he say he's going to charge us to do the whole house?
$2,200 just to hit a couple spots with paint, put the quarter round down.
Man, Rashad and my 14-year-old.
My house, my quarter round.
Well, you got a whole lot of fucking quarter round. Right. But, no, so that's the other thing. So when you're dealing with a real GC, your person that's installing your quarter round, in my opinion, should not be painting. My painter is not the same person as my carpenter. Right.
Yeah, but when everybody ain't doing everything,
I was just trying to get it done.
Yeah,
it wasn't done, so I'm like...
Desperation kicked in. When you start having desperation, you fuck up,
but
right?
See, you be
like, oh, you can do that too? Oh, you can do that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what
you ask them, can you do it, when it's going to be done? But they say, like, oh, yeah, like, give me like to Tuesday. And you think that shit going to happen. It's not ever going to happen. Right. They liars. They are people that's out here preying on people that's in desperate situations, and they robbing Peter to pay Paul. You want to stay away from them. So people got to understand, you know what you're gonna do. I always tell somebody I don't like working for investors, but I tell investors all the time, if I do work with you, you're gonna pay more for me than you're gonna pay for anybody else because I'm not doing the work. I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing nothing. Only thing I'm doing is making sure that everything is happening in the time frame that's supposed to happen. I'm managing your project so that you don't have to. You ain't got to micromanage.
Well, that was the whole reason why I hired a project manager.
Well, you can't hire broke project manager. And I don't know the person from Adam. I don't even know the person's name. But I'm just saying, like, for me personally, if the general contractor is broke.
They can't finance the deal. Or if they killing you on every draw. You know what I mean? I think those are the telltale signs.
They would have been paying all the subs. You wouldn't even know what that price is. And you're just paying them maybe like a deposit. And in your contract, in your bid, that's really a contract with them. Right. This is how much it's going to cost. This is our payment installment dates, when we're going to have a draw, the down payment amount, and the completion date. Yeah. That's like a contract, right? And there may be a clause in there for like, you know, an overage. So if we doing the roof and we take the shingles off and we realize it's rotted wood. So we know that's got to be done. It's going to cost a little bit more money. But it sounds like this person was just gaggling people up and saying, oh, this person did that. You owe them $500. This person did that. You owe them $200. You should never know what all these people doing.
Unless you was general contracting your own project.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I'm going to say this. So the prices, say for instance, I'm a homeowner. You know what I'm saying? And you say, you know what? I need a couple doors done, 2-3 doors. And you're like, okay, I charge $75 a door. And you're like, that's a good price.
Right.
But when you doing a whole project, well, $75 a door plus hardware plus this, it starts adding up, and everything started adding up. So I'm gonna just say, in like her defense, right, the prices, let me just say, they could have been decent if you were doing a primary home. But for an investor, no, I don't agree with that. And it was just too, I don't even think we did. The amount of money we could have spent, we could have open planned that house up. Open floor, whatever you call it, and deck that house all the way out.
You know what? So
I'm just being honest with you.
I don't know how much they actually spent. I don't know. I don't have any of that information. So, yeah, I agree. But I think the main thing here is that they started off with contract. Their contractor was the issue, which is a lot of people's issue. People buying homes without getting a contractor in there first to tell you what it's going to cost, the real cost, right? And then you can give you a contingency, because I will, like what Reggie said. What he said is that's real. So I don't know, if I tear your roof off, I don't know that. I can look up there and kind of imagine based on how old the roof is, but I don't know what your rotted wood is. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to have that in your contract. I'm going to tell you, this is your roof cost, and then it's going to be this amount per sheet of plywood if we got to replace plywood. You know that's going to happen, right? Their leak is something different. But I mean, I feel like that's all stuff that you could have known ahead of time.
Right, before you even... So what he's saying is, between the inspection, if you had one, and the contractor looking at the house before you closed, probably, you would have had those costs up front before you even closed on the property. Then you could have went back to the seller and said, okay, this is going to cost me a little bit more. Maybe you adjust the purchase price. Because the money is really made on the purchase.
That's what it is. That's the fact.
Then you start figuring contractor costs, because the contractor could be $50,000 or $80,000. If you purchase too high, it's going to throw you off anyway.
All the way. He just said it. Reggie, that's the main thing everybody do not understand.
Right.
Because when I work with investors, I always say, what's your budget? And they get mad. They be like, why are you asking me what my budget is? Just tell me what it's going to cost. Well, I'm not even coming to your house until you tell me what your budget is. Right? And then you tell me what you want to do on within your budget, and I can tell you right then and there if I'm going to be the contractor for you or not. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you're an experienced investor or you're doing the right thing when you're investing, you should know your budget.
So look, we had a budget, but see, I know why people don't want to answer it, because we be getting swindled.
No.
So you say,
I
and
agree
the first
with
thing
her.
I
But
do,
hold on, I'm gonna tell you-
doing
I'm gonna tell you
mortgages, right? First thing I say, how much money do you have saved, right? Well, what do I need? Right. So now you thinking because you tell me you got 10 grand,
I'm gonna take your
I'm about to
10,000.
spend your 10 grand.
Yeah.
I'm not spending your money. I'm trying to figure out what program I'm putting you in. And obviously it's got to be a trust there. And I'm like, okay, most times people say, well, I got 20 grand. I say, well, do you want to spend the 20 grand?
Same thing
That's
as
what he's talking about.
same thing as the contractor. So as a
yeah.
contractor, I'm gonna say the same thing. So those people that are doing that, they playing games, and I don't got time to play games.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not about to get rich off your project. Your $10,000 or your $20,000 that you think that I'm about to take ain't shit.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about none of those numbers, right? So my goal is to, if you're dealing with the right contractor, my goal, I always tell my investors that I work with, my goal is for y'all to do multiple projects. If you don't make money on your project, if you have the experience that you just had on your project, you're probably not gonna flip again.
Are you gonna flip again?
Yeah, so I got a question from somebody, right? Are you gonna do a flip again?
Yeah.
So the amount of stress that it with dealing with the contractors, right, and putting up one cabinet a week, right? Talking about you charging, you know what I'm saying? I'm putting up a cabinet a week, like really, or a cabinet a day rather, right? And I'm sitting here saying, do y'all in Detroit, because it's a different market, right? So I talk to different people in other states. This really only go on in Detroit. What they saying. Just what they say. I'm talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying, in the Midwest, or West.
I know.
Yeah, he's like,
all over.
he's like, these contractors don't show up. So it's like, it's discouraging because one, I can't deal with my husband. You know what I'm saying? Getting stressed out because they saying they're going to be done by this time. And don't, or they gonna be here at a certain time and don't, because guess what he about to keep doing while I'm working? Baby, they there. Baby, I need you to look on the camera and see if it's gonna be. I can't deal with that. So I'd be honest with you. I told my husband I ain't never doing it, and I'm lying, but I'm serious. I don't never want to do another.
She said I'm lying, but I'm serious.
I'm not. What was the question I asked after you said that?
What?
What was the question I asked you after you said that? Do you remember?
What I say?
What you saying?
I was like, so why Rashad can't do one without you?
Because my husband is obsessive compulsive. So he like to micromanage, right? And so it's gonna put stress on our marriage if he deals with somebody. It don't really matter who he dealt with. We could have dealt with his cousin contractor, and he would have been on his cousin head. Because he would have been on grandkids. So
if I see things is moving, man, I'm smooth.
So if everybody gives you a realistic expectation, but I understand what he's saying, right? Because it's got to be a realistic expectation, right? So if you give her, so I don't go in telling somebody I'm gonna get your shit done in 3 weeks and it's gonna take me 90 days,
Right?
So I'm gonna tell you 90 days, and if I get it done in 3 weeks, then great.
No, things got to be moving according to what he see. He got to walk in the house and see progress. This is my husband. He want to walk in and see what he feel should be.
He need to stay away from the.
He need to stay away from the construction site.
But he can't though if he don't. So I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I feel like you can be on the construction site. You just have to have understanding on your expentations, right? So it's the expectation is the issue. Why?
No, I agree with Shaka on this one.
So I think, Hello? Because I think it is. So I think me and Erica's controlling. Me and Rashad are more.
Say that loud.
Nope. Rashad is not. So my experience is he's not as bad as she makes it out to be.
He
just needs to. So like you said, there's going to be the realistic expectation, but he should not be there every single day. Because when you go there every single day, and like you saying, such and such not going to be over there, you got him on a different job site because he may not need to be there.
But I'm not telling him that. He's not expecting that from me.
But I'm not. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're telling him for the expectation. What I'm trying to explain is he's going to still have in his mind what he feels like should be happening, even though you told him 3 months.
He ain't gonna have that if I gave you the expectation. So if I told you what your expectation is, you ain't gonna expect more from me than what I told you. If you do, that's your fault.
Exactly, right. And that's the part I'm talking about.
But that's on him then.
That's the part I'm talking about.
But I'm saying if I told you what to expect, and then I'm moving within those confines of those expectations, then you're gonna leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna be good.
You know what I'm saying? So
I keep saying, if I see the ball is rolling and things is getting done, man, I'm smooth, man. I'm happy. I don't gotta be governing
he don't have to
things
do
and
that.
trying to,
Yeah, he don't. So
I'll be happy.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I know. He's talking about like.
I'm scared though.
Yeah, like
know.
I think.
Hold on, this is the problem. This is the whole problem. It was bullshit from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So bullshit begets bullshit.
Period.
Right.
So the bullshit just became an avalanche.
Right.
And it caused my stress to go up, and I'm looking at Erica crazy like,
Yeah,
Say-
because
say-
it
This
was
is
never,
your
it was never like real progress to your like because y'all had to end up hiring someone else.
yeah.
So no, what he's saying is that he never the trust was a problem, and trust in every relationship kills everything, right?
Amen.
You don't have to trust,
Right.
Amen, brother.
So when he came in
Brother
there,
Shaka,
they
amen.
lied and shit. He didn't have to trust in them. But so when you give realistic expectations and you're meeting those expectations, you give a draw schedule, you give a scope of work, you got a price. And those things are happening in the time frame that they're supposed to happen in. Now, all that comes with additional money. You got to pay for that, right? But I think that is worth it.
Yeah,
Right?
it
I
is.
tell all the investors that I deal with, I'm not the cheapest. I'm not ever going to be, because you know who y'all just said, that my man that's going in there, that's the working project manager, he gonna be cheaper than me because he actually going in there working.
Absolutely.
It's gonna take longer.
I ain't never gonna work, right? I'm not going in there doing shit, right? But I'm gonna make sure that your project runs the way it needs to move. Janita will say something different because we are partners, but I explained to her.
I would say different on what?
His time frame.
Yeah, time frame.
Because I don't like y'all time
I
frame.
don't have a
when y'all
problem.
flips
What I
together.
tell you about our time?
But hold on.
Yeah, but
listen
y'all,
what I'm saying.
y'all,
What I'm
you
saying
don't
about
have a
it.
problem with it. I have a problem with
You know
y'all
why she don't
time
have a problem with it?
frame.
Because she understands the expectation. I
Right.
gave her the expectation, right?
Right.
So when I'm saying about the time frame, and the reason that happens is because I'm working with homeowners or individuals like yourself, where I gave them a time frame, and that's my priority. My flips and our flips are not the priority. These people that I told that I'm getting their job done in a certain time frame is my priority. Right? And I get paid for that. You know, I make more money there than I do on.
Of course, that's your priority,
right?
then.
Yeah,
More times than not.
I mean, that's why she doesn't have a problem with it, because she understands it. You know what I mean? Like, she sees and she knows where my money comes from, right?
Yeah, but we did like 4 flips in the time frame that they did the one.
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
Yeah.
4 flips.
4 flips. But listen though,
We was
both-
in on it
Bad
what,
flips.
8, 9 months.
10
Bad
months.
flips.
That's ridiculous. That's retarded.
But-
Because
but
it's a
y'all had-
process,
That was
it's
a
a
60-day project, yeah.
Right.
And then
No,
it-
baby. 60
yes,
days.
60 days.
And you
Yes.
that go back to what you were saying. Remember, see, this is the thing about some
You had a
contractors I
cosmetic
don't like. Remember you was saying, I'm trying to get this house in this market during this time where everybody's bidding. That's why you want the quick turnover ratio.
Yes, I did.
Because even though you pay a little bit more, you're going to see your return on investment quicker.
Absolutely.
Because you got somebody that's going to finish the job
Absolutely.
in that time period.
Absolutely.
So-
So now, yeah, we had a time frame. She was saying 2 months. She was
Right.
done. That's what sold me on going with her. Also, is that window that we were trying to.
Did she put it
finish
in
up
writing, though?
No.
No, she didn't.
I used to have a clause early on. I would have a clause like I had an incentive if they finished several weeks in advance, they would get a bonus, right?
Good incentive.
I used to do that. That shit never worked.
Yeah,
It never works?
0% of the time that they do it.
Yeah, but
Why? Because you take too long.
No, most
they take too
contractors
long.
can't.
They never ever meet the incentive.
Right.
And then when they finally get it done, they be like, "What about my bonus?"
Yeah.
Motherfucker, that was two weeks ago,
Right.
3
Right.
weeks ago when you were supposed to get that bonus.
It's off the flow now.
Yeah. But it's a science to that. Just like doing a loan, processing a loan. There's step 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to have this in place. If your contractor is not good at running a business, then that's gonna be a problem. And it sounds like she wasn't running a business.
We ran into that.
She was just
We ran
hustling.
into that twofold.
Yep.
The second contractor came through and did his thing, but it was still some problems. You know what I mean? And still left us a little dissatisfied in a lot of different aspects, you know.
They got to give realistic expectations.
But I also think that Rashad and Erica have too much of an expectation for flip projects. You're way too emotionally involved in the house.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what I've heard.
I
Yeah.
told them not to do anything else to the floors because they were great, and I find out today that they went back and still did the floors over again.
What?
It's kind of like,
No, so
What are we doing?
okay, so let me tell you what happened. Okay, so
So y'all don't listen.
Hey, look,
They're listening to
hey,
nothing.
look, Rachel over here talking. So Reggie, where my body's at? Rachel was where my body's at. So what ended up happening was we got the floors done, right? And the first girl had some guy come in there and rip the floor all the way up, right? So we didn't have 3-4 different people try to come in and finish his job because we cut her off and all her contractors. So the floors are, I guess, I don't know if it's a rough sand, right?
the floors are fine.
No. You missing. You don't know how we got there.
Okay.
Right? So the first guy came in there just to see the condition of the floor. So I think he did 1 or 2, right? Okay.
1 or 2 floors.
1 or 2 sands or something like that.
okay.
So floors is just ripped all the way up.
They ripped all
So
these-
now I'm
they
trying to
roughed-
find
over-roughed.
over-roughed.
We
So
messed
now-
up.
Over-roughed.
Yeah, so now we trying to find somebody to finish the floors, right? We finally find somebody to finish the floor. He come in and say, now imagine we already dropped $2,500 on the first guy to do the initial whatever.
Rough sand.
First $2,500. He come in and he say these floors got to be done over again. Rachel
Completely
sent a
over
guy.
again.
He come over, said the floors got to be all done again, right? So now we trying to get somebody to
'Cause the
do
guy tore
all
the floors
this.
up.
He tore the floors up. This guy come in, do the floors, give us a pretty decent price, right? And he's doing a pretty good job. And then after he's done, it's gritty.
Yeah, the
He
floors
ain't
is
doing no
like,
good
you
job.
know, you
But
can
what I'm
slide
saying, this
across
what I'm
the floor.
saying, but what I'm
wasn't no
talking about
sliding
is
You was
what-
feeling that. You
what
was
He was
happened
feeling it.
I'm about to tell you.
Felt like
Okay.
you can get a slivery of floor.
Yeah, he ain't doing a good job.
Before, when did you redo floors? Because before we staged, you said,
We didn't redo the floor. All we did is buffed it to get that grit off.
They needed a second. That's what they was missing. They needed
We
the
just did
second.
no.
They
He
needed
had
the
finished
second.
it, but we like,
y'all
why
still
is it
missing
grit?
it?
What?
The house was listed and sold, and then they went and did something else to the floor.
Because they was gritty as heck. He came back and did.
See,
did it for
You see
hold
what-
on,
but you see
hold
what I'm
on.
saying?
But the
So
floor
the
was
buyer
gritty.
had already
Yes.
accepted the house and
As
appraised
is.
everything
The
was
inspection was
fine,
done.
but you went back because
Spent
you
more
felt
money.
like.
We
That was
knew.
me.
All right,
was like, I was wanna-
let me
I
tell
wanna-
y'all
This is the
something.
part.
I'm glad y'all live next door to this house, and I tell sellers this all the time. Most of the time, sellers never go back to that house. We go back to housewarmings and all of that. And the sellers is like, yeah, I did this to the house, I did that. You gonna go back one day and them floors gonna be completely
They
different.
gonna stain them a different
gonna
color.
And you
Carpet
gonna be
on
like,
it.
I
They gonna
did
put
this
luxury vinyl
extra,
flake on
for no
and
reason.
then you gonna go back, it's carpet on top. Or they put some peel and stick tile, you
Right.
gonna be pissed off.
So what's the
They
reason for
gonna
that?
paint
Because
all
they
the
watch
walls
too
emerald
much flip
you,
that house.
you're making a house. One,
Well, no, if I pay for something, Reggie, if I say sand the goddamn floors, I want them sanded. Whether they gonna do it again, the job wouldn't do
Did you have
right.
to repay, or did they come back and do it?
No,
At,
he did it for nothing, basically.
Well,
Okay,
No,
then that-
basically, nope.
It was a little.
Well, no,
we had-
what
we
was
had
the
to-
little
we had
bit
to-
of
we had to
extra?
pay for the poly.
but see,
oh,
all
but
of
he
that,
did the rough. Oh, they
But
paid
all that-
$150.
Yeah,
I would.
$150, $160.
And you
see,
wouldn't have.
all of those
I would've-
If
little
the house was
extras,
done and
I would've
sold, you
started
would
to
not
add
have
up.
done
do
it.
it.
because
They
you're
wouldn't
like,
have done
okay, I want this
$150.
way. If the buyer has already made the decision, I'm fine with this the way it is. Usually in the buyer mind, they looking at the house on what they're gonna do to it. Even though you did all of
That's
this,
true.
this move-in ready, this convenient, but in a month I'm gonna redo this.
Oh, absolutely.
I got an
Yeah.
So
argument for
those
it though.
little
Not
extra
our
200.
buyers love.
So, Reg,
See,
let
that's
me
the
tell you,
problem.
let me tell you,
They ain't
I'm gonna tell you the
changing
difference though.
nothing.
They gonna live next door to the people.
Yup.
And so one thing that I hate, I used to love it, that Janita finds a buyer for all of our flips.
Right.
But they call us back for everything. Bruh, I just sold you the house as is.
Hold on.
Right.
First of all,
Do they really?
No.
Yes.
First of all,
You said okay.
hold on. The buyers that I find, I tell them, do not call me after this house is
They don't
sold.
call Janita, but they call me.
And so then what happens, so what has happened is the last few houses that we've sold, I didn't know The people who he's getting calls back from is he's listed them,
Right.
and he's worked with those agents, and
Lies.
then they're calling him back, talk about come fix stuff, and I'd be like, Shaka, why?
That's not true, but I hear what she's saying. But
Do it be
so,
major stuff or just like
They
little
don't give a
knickknacks?
shit what
It
it
don't
is
matter.
because it ain't my deal no
Right.
more. I sold you the house. You had your private inspection happen, and
got you.
you
You're
bought
right.
the house. I didn't tell you that this was a brand new house. People buy a house thinking that they getting a
Look, I
brand new
told
house.
Rashad and Erica this. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, why are you doing that?
No, but I'm saying is I understand.
I see why now, Johnny.
But I understand.
Listen to
understand.
everything.
Yeah, it's just one of those
Because
things.
you
Like,
know
you
they
get
right
the
next door.
house-
They can be mad at y'all.
No,
their
and that's what
vacation
Erica's
is-
point was. But at the same time, you did not knock this house down. And even if it was new construction, there's certain
People still have-
warranties
Still
that
gonna
come.
have
Yeah,
stuff.
it's still gonna be things that are gonna come up. You bought this house. I came in here. I saw this house. I thought that it needed this, this, and this. I went in here and I did these things. And now, if you want to buy it as is, you can take this and deal with whatever comes with it.
And when
At
we
this price.
say as is, we're not meaning just as is, meaning that you had your inspection, there was a few items we fixed that. We had the appraisal, there was a few items we fixed that. Now we're moving forward and we're closing, right?
Right.
From that point on,
your house. Stop calling me.
the drain back up, right? Well, we wasn't living there, we don't know, and that just happens. That's part of owning a home. Stuff happens, right? Don't call me for that. Maybe you had a warranty or whatever, but something's gonna go wrong in every house. I don't care how much you put into it. The thing is, with something like that, those small items, you don't necessarily have to overdo it because it's not part of the deal. But you still want to be fair to people,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And honest.
Absolutely.
I agree with that, but like even with their like they gave these people the world, and I'm like, bruh, like what are y'all doing? We trying to turn a profit. Not like
Yeah.
Right.
So Johnita, we was already the profit was already minimal anyway.
it don't matter.
But
No,
don't
what I'm
keep
saying
digging
is,
a hole.
but just check this out. So listen to the thing. Had our numbers already been
Right.
where they should have been in the beginning, right?
Right.
Then when they came and asked for the central air, it wouldn't have been like, dang, now we got to. Well, yeah, you spending
Right.
$300,000 for a house. They should have central.
No.
But that's
if
what I'm
they bought-
saying.
now if
And,
they
and
bought
that's
it
the
without
part that I'm
knowing
trying
they
to
didn't
get
have
them to
central air.
understand. Like even sitting here right now, she still doesn't get it.
Not that-
You're too emotionally involved in a project, so you should never, ever, ever do a flip again.
I don't want to.
Because she's too
No,
emotionally
you can do a
involved in the
flip.
project.
If you want to do a flip,
I
you have
already know-
to
I already told you
do
what I'ma
flips
do.
off of.
What you gotta do?
I'm already. I'm changing the whole. You know, this is.
Yeah.
I ain't,
Oh, we ain't
listen,
talked about it yet.
Listen. We found another house. 3 contractors coming over there.
Yep.
I want a scope, and it better be detailed. My eye, it was already sharp. His eye didn't got sharp. So this is what we learned from this, right? 3 contractors coming in. I want to see everything from the outside of the house to the inside of the house, right? And then me and him have decided we gonna go through the numbers and see if we can come to some kind of, because we know somebody gonna miss something. See what we can. You know,
You're gonna build your own
you
contingency.
gonna be in it, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then if the numbers work, you gave me a sheet, right? You was like, if it ain't this, okay, then we passing, right?
That's how you do it, though.
And that's just it. It's not gonna be no more, well,
There's no in between.
it ain't no in
That's the
between.
shit.
It ain't no.
Thank
it's
you.
labor
Look,
costs.
Erica
Thank
made
you.
her husband repaint the silk. Shaka would have been like, is that gonna keep them from buying a house? So that's the kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying. If that's great, if that's the new plan, do it. But you still have to at some point let it go.
You know.
So,
let me get.
so you have to discuss that part of your next move as well.
let me
I'm
get.
not even messing in the $300,000 range no more anyway. Our first flip shouldn't even been that high. Most people start off with, 100, 150, and that's what they did.
But that's a problem in itself.
So
You
let me
understand
just
the
say,
fuck
so
out of
yeah,
it.
it's all good throwing in some contractor grade in a $150,000 house that you flip in, or
Yeah.
180. We're talking about 300 in Bagley.
Yeah, we
Like-
were trying
You must
to
have-
get in
You
that.
you know what I'm saying? You,
range.
you,
Not
you
necessarily
They don't
the
understand.
process.
Yeah.
You're not
So
catching
here's the thing, right?
like this
The
too much
the
for
process
us.
No.
is the exact same, right?
is.
The difference is that some of the people y'all was working with, and the advice y'all either had or didn't have. So you start like this, all right? I got a potential deal. It's only a potential deal until you see all the numbers, right? You look at, okay, I'm buying this house for 100. I need to make at least whatever y'all minimum amount is, say 50,000, for me to even entertain all of this headache, stress, and everything, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm paying 100 for it. I need to make 50. Now we go check the ARV. The ARV says 210 or whatever, right? When Shaka calls and he tells me my budget is based on what I want to make in my profit and what I'm paying for it. If he say I can't do this for that, then I have to go back and renegotiate that price, or I simply just don't do the deal. It's just that simple, because I have my number I need to make, and these are the numbers to everything else.
If the numbers don't fit, you must have quit. Like, don't do the shit.
Okay,
like, that's
so
what the
they
people
say
don't
they can do it for 50. And it turned out being 100,000.
Well, then
Here we go with the reality that go on here.
that's not reality.
And what we dealing with.
That's insane.
No. The numbers is we can do this house for 65,000.
But see, that's the wrong contractor.
That's insane.
That's why
and you like, wait a minute.
That's why if you get 3 contractors, I guarantee you're gonna identify the weak link.
Right.
I guarantee you. Call Rachel, call Shaka, and call somebody else. I guarantee you're gonna get something.
Are they gonna be the same?
You was micromanaging.
Yeah.
Most of my flip, you can ask Rachel. When she did my last flip, I went there maybe twice. And one time was because she was just needing my opinion on something. The other time, I wanted to shoot a video with my wife showing us flipping the house, right?
Okay.
But that's it. When you got a good contractor, it's no need to keep going over there back and forth. Is this what it's gonna be? This what it is? We have some
I
contingencies.
would love to have that.
And that's it.
But listen,
Peace of
I would
mind.
love to have that.
I want to tell them one more thing. Good contractors are not on. My personal opinion.
Right.
You know, people gonna get mad at me about this, but I don't give a fuck.
Ain't no way, because hey, look.
Good contractors are not on Facebook talking about what the fuck. Look at what I'm doing over here. I don't even have time. I don't have time. Right? So people always ask me, they're like, where your before and after photos? Shit, you know what? I forgot. You know why I forgot? Because I'm too fucking busy actually doing jobs. And if you want to see what's going on, come to my job site.
I know a couple good ones that do
If you
videos though, because
so that's
they're
what I
using it
said.
for marketing though.
Oh, great, but I don't feel like I need to market because I ain't never. So if I want to go to homeowners, I agree. But if I want to deal with
that's
investors,
what I'm saying. A lot of people are dealing with homeowners.
But they
want to
investors
see
though. But if I'm dealing with investors, I don't need to market because shit, it speaks for itself. Like the other investors are going to talk to them about what I've done for them.
Right.
And again, a good contract. So for me, I don't like dealing with a lot of investors, but the investors that I do deal with, my point is you have to make money in order for me to make money. If you lose, how the hell I'm gonna make some money? Because you ain't gonna invest no more.
Hey, we ask the same question over and over and over again. If you screw us, we not use you again. It's simple. So if you know, it don't even matter. So
some
it's
people
like,
be looking at it like
and
it's
they just
one
look
shot
like it,
to
it's
suck
one
you
shot,
dry.
and we move
$5,000.
on to the next.
Right.
That's
Suck
what she said
you
about the
dry.
broke contractor.
And it's a serial thing. I'm gonna go to the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go
Suck
to the
you
next
dry.
dude.
They ain't looking at repeat business.
They gonna find. You know where you're finding them at? Where y'all find them at? Tell me where you find them at.
Look.
On social media, because that's
Y'all
where
need
it's
some.
at.
Y'all, especially you, Erica. You know enough people in the business to really get some
I
solid
couldn't even
referrals.
get nobody to even come to do my bathroom in my own house. You would think I got 100 and some agents on my page, right?
No,
Hey,
you got to pick the phone up.
I need my bathroom done. I got water coming in through the ceiling.
Right.
Can't get nobody to show up. And this is my own house, and I've been doing this 30 years.
Right.
I can't get a contractor to show up.
You can.
What contractors did you
No,
call?
man, we
'Cause
reached out to so many people.
When
we
they
couldn't
reach out
even
to
get
me,
nobody to even
so
show
look,
Yeah,
up.
because
I'm
all
saying
my
that they
contractors
call me.
show-
I'm gonna show.
No,
up.
I will tell you
Like,
this.
it's terrible.
No,
like,
I didn't because
The contractors
They
I
had
know
found-
may have
they-
not
when they called,
came
they had
that
somebody.
week. They may be like, okay, I can get by there next week.
When you called me
on
about
this
your
day.
bathroom, what I tell you to do?
I remember.
You don't remember nothing I said. See what I'm
Nah.
saying?
Well, I
There
tell
was
you
too
what
much
happened.
going on.
I
I
called.
said call Shaka, have them come over there and look at the bathroom.
But I called and actually I was supposed to meet y'all, but y'all had already, y'all was weeks into dealing with whatever the headache was. And I understand.
Hey, Rachel, like we needed ASAP. And listen, that's correct. But the point is this Rachel, she came.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like, but she busy. So the good contractors is busy.
That's
right.
They busy.
And you just gotta wait. Matter of fact, speaking of, Rachel started on one of my flips.
Got her.
It was almost like 3 weeks before she could start. I was willing to wait because I knew she was still gonna meet my timeline, and that's just simply it. Same with Shaka, you're gonna have to wait, but that wait, a bad contractor, you're gonna be 6 to 8 months. A good contractor, you might be 3 to 4 months, but you're gonna start 2 months later. The time frame may be the same because you had to wait, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna be more guaranteed. And we ain't even got to passing city inspection and FHA.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do all this work, and then the appraiser come out or the city come out and be like, "Oh, this don't pass."
Wrong.
Now what you dealing with?
I want to say this too. This is one important thing that was left out, right? Upon purchasing the home, right, we weren't granted the opportunity to have an inspection. And I asked my wife, I say, Erica, I don't know about this. This is, because I didn't know I know enough about a house that you at least got to see what's going on. Right. It's like going to purchase a vehicle and not knowing what the hell is under the hood.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, so that was a problem to me as well. We didn't have that opportunity.
Agreed.
Well, y'all learned a lot.
Yeah, we did.
You did sell the house.
Yes, we did.
You was able to, make some, recoup some things.
We didn't get to talk about that because we got to go, but Janita sold the house for a lot more than what y'all had were quoted by other agents.
Yes, she did.
Because she the shit, right? And she came over there and did her thing, and that was supposed to be part of this thing, but she did an excellent. Y'all can talk about that real quick.
And you spoke to 2 or 3 agents, right?
I did.
And we all gave different
so I reached
quotes,
out. Yeah.
And she made it.
So Reggie gave me $250, and Rico Johnson gave me $240, $250, and I might have reached out to Shakir. So everybody was in this $240, $250 range, right?
Oh, there were you, Reggie?
Yep, that was Reggie. So we tried to do. I mean, towards the end, we tried to reach out to the network, right?
Right.
And then I Joe Rutledge household. And then that started to to help get that value up. So I tell everybody what y'all need to do real quick, right? So she approached me mad because I didn't want to list the house. I got a network. I could have sold this house in my mind without paying an agent, right? But she presented it in such a way that I said, okay, fine. I'm tired of being bothered with it. So she did the broker open. All my peoples showed up. Then she did a neighborhood open. We door knocked. You know what I'm saying? And we brought people from the neighborhood, right? And then she did this mega open. I had never seen an open house like this. And I'm in the business. This mug was popping from 10:30 to 7:30 at night. And it was at least 5 people at a time in the house. So by 7:50 in the morning, I'm getting a text message because I'm in there checking out everybody that want to buy my house. And she like, hey, I'm trying to put an offer in on your house. I'm like, make the offer. Don't let me vet you. I already vetted you. We good. So we had an offer in less than 24 hours. Janita did it. She had the whole block lit up with signs, the whole neighborhood lit up with signs. So I was super impressed.
So that's
what I'm saying. Even when I was told you ain't about to get that for that house,
you ain't getting that.
You ain't getting it.
Would you?
You got above.
We got above asking with appraisal gap, and the house appraised for, since y'all watching, $277. And we had an appraisal gap up to $3,500.
The appraisal guarantee.
Yeah. So
they got 280.
Yep. So we got 280.
That happens. You know what that happens though? You have a realtor that is not just a realtor, but is also a flipper, and has also been in the game for a long time. So she know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I looked at all the numbers. I saw the 250. But I saw a little bit more as well. And so what I talked to them about is, why would you limit yourself to this number?
Right.
When this market over here doesn't suggest that you have to. So it was still all data driven.
Right.
And then the number that was arrived at was pulled back from, like, we should have, based on my real number, we should have listed at 285. But I felt like that would have been a little too strong. So it all worked out.
Yeah, but your house just went for 300 based off of what we doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what Avery doing.
Right.
Avery did, I did, and then Joe. Joe house literally is going for 300 right now.
Joe, come on the show so we can talk.
Hey, we need to get Joe in here because Joe texted me talking about something. I ain't letting the appraiser in until you tell me your house is closed.
Yeah.
Closed.
Joe to get on
Tell
the
them
show.
I think about updating them comps.
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho's, Erica, where they find you at?
Y'all can call me. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right,
I'm old school, right? So 313-693-5643. My website, ericasimpson.info. I'm old school. Call me or fill out an app online.
All right, last question from me. Will y'all be doing another flip if the opportunity is right?
I want to have a mentor with us next time. I'm just being honest. I don't want to do it by myself no more.
Charging 15 stacks.
You know what I'm saying? I want a mentor. So if we're gonna do it again, I'm gonna need somebody. Like I asked Jay Williams to mentor me because I'm dead serious.
Jay who?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jay cool. Jay know what he's
I'm
doing.
watching.
Who is that?
I want a mentor.
Dark-skinned guy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know nobody.
He know what
But
he's
I'm just
doing.
saying, in the time I'm looking for somebody to help me because you know how many people I help get houses? Why can't I get some help? You know what I'm saying?
When you have help, you just got to take the help.
Yeah,
and you got to
so-
listen to what the help say.
Okay. All right.
Next time. So next time, I'm
I want
going to call
somebody to
Erica.
help me.
I'm going to call Rashad.
Get a house.
Right.
I'll call you.
I want a house from the land bank, cheap. I'm be like everybody else that called in. I want to buy a house for $5,000.
No, you do not. Because you're going to spend $95,000.
That's a wrap.